happen in India is most of their animations, event and festival is mainly little passive. Like it seems to B2B exhibition sort of the things. Like there's a lot of brand exhibition or kind of things. Yeah, it's interesting for sure. Now nowadays, as you know, like there's a lot of channel to purchase items, right? So therefore, is there like a specific meaning, like to go to the site and then to buy the some stuff? General anime people in India, maybe they watch through us their, Netflix or Crunchyroll. Therefore, typically they just follow their, weekly top 10 or something. Therefore, like maybe Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump is, published by the Shueisha, one of the big, manga publishing company in Japan. So this Jump title is definitely popular, like the Sakamoto Days, and then Dandadan, and then like a Spy Family, and then like those kind of their, like Shonen Jump series is very popular right now in India.
Apart from that, so how's been your experience like putting together this event? You want to take us kind of behind the scenes?
Great question.
It's great to have you here.
Yes, no, same here. So glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for inviting me.
So I've been hearing a lot about this Ota Tokyo event that you've been putting together.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about that? Like, what's it all about?
Okay, so Ota Tokyo is a first, cosplay doujin focusing festival, like which is focusing on the Japanese pop cultures. What we will do is we will bring the authentic, like sort of the Tokyo and otaku cultures from the Tokyo to the India. Even if they're Indian people is there, we go to the Tokyo. They don't need to come to the Tokyo. We will bring the Tokyo to the Bangalore, so that they can get a lot of like the authentic experience, like which they're like the Japanese otaku is enjoying right now in Japan. So yeah, so this is a brief explanation about Ota Tokyo.
Do you want to tell a little bit about your outfit?
Okay, yeah. So this is like the Naruto's cosplay. So yeah, so even like our one of their like the important topic for Ota Tokyo experience. So we want to bring the lot of experience so that they can make a great memory with a family, with a friend, with a girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever's. Therefore, one of the key content is a cosplay trial outfit. So we brought their 120 costume, 60 for their kids, 60 for their parents. So once you come to our venues, so we will provide the cosplay trial experience in this way. You don't need to bring any costume. We prepare the famous characters costume by ourselves, like the One Piece, Naruto, and Demon Slayers. Everything's prepared by us. And then I will serve participants to enjoy about the first memorial, cosplay experience.
I'm curious about the cosplay culture in Japan. So is it something that I'm sure it's much more common than it is in India. Is it something that people do for events or like, how does it work?
Okay. So cosplay is more like what it's called, more like casual, compared with another country. Because, like not only like the anime festival, but also like we generally do the cosplay, even like Japan is interestingly, we enjoy every edition. So in the Christmas, we will do the cosplay, and then like Santa Claus or whatever. Even like in the like what is called that Halloween. Even like Halloween, like in the Shibuya in Tokyo, like so many people is doing a cosplay. So we have such a culture to enjoy the cosplay more casually. So probably the Japanese people is basically suffers that their emotion, like they are not trying to be their extroverts too much daily basis. In this case, someday they're aiming at to be another person. So maybe doing cosplay is a great opportunity to find out that another you are uniqueness. Therefore, maybe, based upon the basic Japanese mentality, the cosplay is one that, effective way to express one more character of yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like in India, like there is a bit more of a conservative culture. So there isn't that freedom of expression that maybe there is nothing stopping you, but people still don't feel free to kind of express that themselves. So I feel like in that way, the Japanese people are just like way more free about expressing their interests and desires.
Yeah, true. As I like it's like the Japanese people is, like the single ethnic, right? In Japan, like multiple ethnic. Single ethnic is a problem is regulations going to be very severe. Regulation, rule, and then the governance is getting severe because, control is easy, like for a single ethnic. Therefore, like if you're living in Japan, actual, like there's so many pleasure, and if we make some break the rules slightly, so people is arguing, hey, what do you have then? Therefore, so to be honest, like a very frustrated country to some extent. So therefore, they need some, like extra space to release their, daily frustration and stress. So I'm not saying like cosplays are, just one of the, methodology to, like release their frustration, but definitely one of the way like to, like express themselves without any like the hassle and the stress and pressure from the parents and the friend and like, some seniors or something.
So I feel like Japanese culture is famous the world over,
Yeah.
but I feel like still a lot of Indians are just kind of beginning to understand like what's it all about. Like there is something beyond sushi only.
Okay.
So I'm curious, like what to expect from this event. So what sort of events or activities are going to be there? Like is it going to give us a taste of Japan here in Bangalore?
So detailed content is suppose, like we have a, like a lot of experiences will be there. So first one is, like as I mentioned, like we will provide so like a cosplay try on experience. This is a run. It be like do you know Beyblade, by the way? Okay.
Used to be.
Yeah. So I realized about it, or interestingly, so why we are starting in the Bangalore is, of course I'm living in the Bangalore. This is one reason. But still, if we are supposed to organize event in Bangalore, so this is the tech hub in India. We can say in Asia. So like you as well, like some of the startup folks is there, like putting in the full effort for their, like their work, right? So ideally, so it should be balanced. Sometimes you need to release your daily frustration. So therefore, we want to invite the parents as well, so that the parent is able to spend a very meaningful time with their kids, because daily basis they're workaholic. So in order to make such a great, meaningful, time with the parents and the kids, we are trying to involve in their, parents' experience as well. One is a cosplay outfit with the kids and a memorial experience, and take their photo, and then like a sponsored by their, Instax, Fujifilm, like an instant photo company. They are sponsors. Therefore, so once you take the outfit, try on, and then like you can take their, like a short photo by their Instax. This is one of the great experience. And apart from that, we get a lot of, like the Beyblade Stadium and then Beyblade itself from the Takara Tomy company. Takara Tomy is a Beyblade company itself. They sponsor us and provide a 12 Beyblade Stadium and then 25 Beyblade itself. So what we will do is we will do the parent Beyblade competition, because Beyblade is a two generations enjoying. Like a senior generation might feel some nostalgic emotion. Oh, I used to play that. Parents Beyblade competition.
Right.
And stuff.
I had completely forgotten that I used to be a huge fan of Beyblade, and I remember I would go to like terrace or something with some friends, and we would take this like big bowl or something, and then we would like play in it or
Yes.
something like that.
Yes.
So, yeah, that would be an interesting trip down memory lane.
Yeah. True. Like what happened in India is most of their animations, event and festival is mainly little passive. Like it seems to B2B exhibition sort of the things. Like there's a lot of brand exhibition or kind of thing. Yeah, it's interesting for sure. Though nowadays, as you know, like there's a lot of channel to purchase items, right? So therefore, is there like a specific meaning, like to go to the site and then to buy some stuff, or at the venue? There is, because there's impulsing like their purchasing happen. Well, apart from that, what we have realized is that experience more matters. Otherwise, it's boring that just either like some performance and then like just either, like their merchandising shop or something possibly. So in order to make a great memory, so what we are thinking that more proactively involving their, this, festival. Therefore, we are the organizer for sure, but everybody can be the organizers. Everybody's making the content, because, like this content is made by you and like, fandom and, participants as well. Therefore, I don't want to make some like isolation between like an organizer side and audience side. Everything is put together and trying to make like a memorial moment together. Yeah.
I'm just remembering. So I remember I used to watch a lot of Pokemon, a lot
Okay.
of Dragon Ball Z.
I like.
So does that also fall under anime, or like is that a different category?
Okay. Interesting question. Like Dragon Ball Z and then like their Pokemon is definitely anime sort of things. Well, like they're interesting that like Pokemon is their definitely, like they're completely unique and then like their original IP, which is little different from the little different from the another one. Dragon Ball Z is animation, of course, but there's a starting point. Is everything that's starting from the manga. Even Dragon Ball Z is starting from manga. After that, manga is stepping out to the animation. Animation is stepping out to the another multiple medias like the gaming and then cinema and then like the real event and then merchandising. In this way, like live movie. So in this way, like everything is starting from manga and stepping out to the another multiple media. This is how it works about the manga industry and the anime industry as well. Pokemon is starting from gaming, right? So therefore, it's a different way. Like there's a comic for sure. But if I'm not wrong, like maybe starting point is different from the typical manga and anime. Starting from the gaming, after that they spreading out to the manga and then like the real anime and the merchandising, etc. So therefore, like the people might confuse. I know. So is it anime or not?
Yeah. What do you think are like the top anime shows these days?
Oh, interesting. Top anime show is always for myself or like the generally speaking in India. Both. Like for myself is I really like the Kaiju number 8. And then like the one more thing is ORB. ORB is one of my favorite recent anime. So those kind of animes are of course different types, but especially ORB is very fascinating. Even like I hope you like it. Yeah, because like so very difficult to explain in English, but ancient era. So people is believing Earth, here Earth, right? Earth is not moving. Like the planet is moving. But there is one guy who insists that Earth is moving. If you declare these kind of things, these people will be killed at that time. But people never gave up to insist this fact, even if there's so many 99% people is opposed to that declaration. But people never give up. Even like this person is oh, I don't want to be like the spoilers. Yeah, but you can get like even like a startup is also saying 99.9% people is opposed. Yeah, this idea won't work. Well, 0.1% is founder team is betting, right? So similarly, so this person is never give up and surrenders. Even if everybody's opposed, even if you are alive, it might be finished. So therefore, as a startup founders, so I can feel there's some of the great motivation and they can never give up, and then like some of the importance of the grit mindset or something. This is always interesting. Apart from that, general anime people in India is maybe they watch through us their Netflix or Crunchyroll. Therefore, typically they just follow their weekly top 10 or something. Therefore, like their maybe Shonen Jump. Shonen Jump is published by the Shueisha, one of the big manga publishing company in Japan. So this Jump title is definitely popular, like the Sakamoto Days, and then Dandadan, and then like a Spy Family, and then like those kind of their like Shonen Jump series is very popular right now in India.
Apart from that, so how's been your experience like putting together this event? Do you want to take us kind of behind the scenes?
What's that?
Do you want to take us a little bit behind the scenes and share about like what's it like putting this event together?
Great question. So to be honest, maybe you might be able to perceive like what's happened behind that, like for this, simple thing, super hard because it's the first time, right? And then like even like I have never organized a small my home party as well. I have also, I never like organize like a 15 or 20 small party. How can we organize like a 10,000, like their, festival, like they're at a single time for the first time without any like there's some backup from their event management company or something. Therefore, so everything stuff. First one is the sponsor acquisition. No one is believing us, right? Now, but we never give up. What we have feel is our hypothesis, like these kind of a culture culture imports from their Japan to India is very crucial part for the both country as well. Therefore, we never doubt for our hypothesis. Therefore, like if we keep telling things like with high motivation and enthusiasm to their stakeholder side is So eventually, first big companies that get being sponsored like the Mercari and then like Fujifilm and then like we convinced the Jetro as well, Japanese governments, like institution. And then gradually government wise and then big corporate enterprise wise is start supporting us. Yeah, so your hypothesis and idea is definitely good. It should be done. So therefore, like gradually we onboarding the people who feel the strong empathy. So therefore, yeah, so still tough for acquiring the sponsors, but thankfully, so many big sponsor is supporting us now. But apart from that, even production is also tough. Even like the volunteer hiring is also tough, and then like the ticket sales is also tough. No one knows about it. So even like a little tough to communicate with existing anime related community as well. So this is also a little challenging as well. So to get some consensus or something.
Is this the first such event in India, or were there before any other?
Strictly speaking, we are believing like this is the first. Like if you regard this as a little abstract level, like like if abstract level, people might perceive, oh, there is a similar kind of event, like because like in the abstract level, this is sort of the Japanese culture event. Japanese culture event is there, like there even like Konnichiwa Japan, and then like in Delhi, and like Japan Happer in the Bangalore. Yeah, there's a holistic Japan culture festival is there. Well, we very sharply narrow down into the animation and like manga and pop culture space and cosplay and indulgence. So therefore, we believe this is a definitely, like a, unique and first original festival. And then, yeah, so maybe if you come to our festival, I'm not sure whether you can make a comparison on it unless ever been to such a festival, but you might feel the some of the uniqueness and originality for our festival. Yeah.
You talked about Japan exporting culture. Do you think this is like a direct focus? Like, is this something that the Japanese government is explicitly focused on? That hey, we want to export our culture.
Okay, I understand. So your question is this right? My individual like aim or like a government wise?
So how does this fit into the overall Japanese government's objective to exporting their culture?
Overall, like their strategy or something?
Like, is this something that you think that Japanese government focuses on specifically? Like, is this something they are trying to do and trying to support the people like you that are doing this?
Yeah, certainly. Recently, Prime Minister of the Japan has been changed. Like this is the first, female prime minister has become like the top of their, like the Japan government right now. So they even like she was saying, like they're, definitely Japan itself is a shoot focusing on their like a few of the industry, of course aerospace as well. Even like a semiconductor might be happening. Well, definitely entertainment sector is overall we should focusing on. So therefore, like there, even like a decade back, Japan government is pushing and promoting the one important strategy which is called the Cool Japan. Cool Japan is not only the animation but also like any culture related items like like a food as well, even like a traditional some plate or something in the Kyoto or something. This is also one of their like a culture aspect. And in this way, like Japan government is making such a cool Japan strategy and trying to export this Japan culture to the overseas. But what happened throughout the COVID-19? So people start consuming the animation content too much because of the OTTs expansion as well. Even like people staying at home. So multiple those two factors, people get like the export and touch upon the Japanese culture. Therefore, like maybe like a 10x subscribers or anime watcher is increasing in the last 5 years. Therefore, before COVID, so maybe 10 million people is watching the anime in India, but right now 120 million is watching the anime, which is almost equivalent number of the Japanese total population. So therefore, of course, the government is watching these kind of same bottom as well. So therefore, the Japan government is also pushing. Okay, so previously automobile and semiconductor is 1 and 2, and for the export, export wise, but now, we should prioritize highly for the, like the animation and the entertainment sector as well. Therefore, the anime, manga, gaming, and those three factors is definitely, Japan government is fully pushing and like, in case we apply for some of the grant, we might not easily, but in case, if we complete some of their proper procedures, we can get a grant and then to promote their this kind of activity as well. So therefore for the next years, in case this first festival is successful, this is a track record. So we will bring to the like a government side, hey, please give us this kind of their like a grant, so that we can expand to the Delhi, your hometown, and then like a Mumbai, and then like their Hyderabad, and then like Nagpur, and then like those kind of areas people is inviting us, hey, please do the Ota Tokyo, our city as well. We want to realize this, but we need a fund. Therefore, yeah, we will more closely associate with the Japan government from now onward.
So because you interact with fans of anime culture a lot, like not just anime culture, but overall Japan culture, what do you think is something that Indians still get wrong about Japanese culture? Or maybe some myth out there that, okay, they think it's a certain way, but really the reality is a little bit different.
Interesting. Yeah. So there is some, classification kind of things. Yeah. So top 10% is definitely, understanding about authentic Japan culture itself, even like a, high morality as well. Therefore, like they are not, treating the Japanese anime culture like more, not casually, not, shallow way. They're, treating the Japanese culture more deeper way, means like I suppose even if they purchase some authentic, merchandising item, they tend to purchase official item, not pirates one. Reason why they understand their circulation system. So making the one series of the anime episode is a, can you guess how much it costs for one episode?
Few million or
Okay.
for animation.
Yeah, for the one single episode, like the suppose, like they're the 12 episode in their one series. One single episode, how kind so can you guess?
At least tens of thousands of dollars, I would imagine.
Yeah, true. Yeah, very bad point, very bad point. Yeah. So for even like for the demonstrators, for a single episode, you need to pay like a 2 crore for a single episode. Means like if you're going to make a multiple and a 12 episode, like it's gonna be like a 3 million and 4 million US dollars is need to expend, right? How they can recoup this investment throughout the merchandising. 80%, financial recoup comes from merchandising. The top 10% Indian anime fan is literally understanding about this circular system, not circular, but ecosystem in their business structure as well. Therefore, not all, I'm not saying, but some of the people is understanding we should, like rewards, to the creator side throughout expressing some gratitude because, like because of the animation, so their life is a little, like they're, getting their mentally healthy. Because, like the Indian people is also, very competitive and like surviving is very tough. But because of the some, limited time for watching the anime, they could release the time and they might be able to find out themselves through themselves. So therefore, they felt now, emotional, some gratitude, appreciation to their creators, anime creators, how they can reward watching the anime throughout the subscriptions or paying their authentic item for the merchandising. So this is one of the way to express their gratitude. Therefore, top 10% is understanding of this kind of culture. Japanese anime fan is basically understand. Therefore, we don't tend to purchase like pirates item. Yeah, though 10% is a yes. But rest of the people is still casually enjoying the anime itself. Therefore, like we feel like even like a cosplayer as well. So this kind of a cosplayer is a world #1 cosplayer. Maybe you can precisely figuring out how much precision it is, right? They put their, this kind of the art as well in a cosmetic, and even like a single eyeline or like their hair wig as well. Everything's very precisely designed. So it's a similar, not only the cosplay, Japan is a precision country, like a semiconductor and in automobiles, but similarly, even like pop culture industry, high precision is still going on. Therefore, what we will do is we will provide a lot of workshop, find the cosplay workshop to do their makeup and then like the prop making kind of things. A lot of workshop will be there. So we want the rest of their, like their 80% or 50% people who still, like are casually understanding the Japanese culture. And then we want to, provide an opportunity to understand more deeply throughout the authentic peoples. Yeah.
So I am remembering this recent news article by, I think it was some article exploring collaboration between Japan and India governments that Japan is now opening up almost 500,000 visas and inviting Indians to come and work in Japan.
Oh,
So I'm curious to hear your take. Like, what are in your experience, like how does Japan and India work culture differs, and like how do you see this collaboration panning out?
very interesting question. Okay. First of all, I strongly believe because since 2015 I used to live in India as I mentioned before. Therefore, I strongly believe Japan and India is a wonderful team. Make the wonderful team. Japan is good at the making operation. Japan is good at the making the 10 to 100. Indian people is very good at the 0 to 1 because it's a jugaad. So without preparing everything, somehow they can find a way. This is very good. So, but Japanese people is taking the time and observing, and if they can, recognize, okay, this is not risky, then they will take the action. So therefore, speed is very slow. But Indian people is taking the initiative as even like global company like Microsoft, Google, everywhere is CEO is Indian people. This indicate Indian people is good at leading and some initiating something new from the scratch, right? The Japan people is good at making the great operations throughout, managing some, tiny things and seeing the bottleneck and then solving the throughput or something. So Japan is good at things, right? Therefore, making something new from the Indian person and supporting the Japan, making the CEO is Indian, like a CEO is Japanese kind of things. So this is good. But if this is opposite, like a Japanese CEO is trying to manage, the great leadership, like an Indian person, like a little, weird for me. Of course, if the location is Japan, so top managing person might be like the Japanese. But even like a Kameda, like the Kameda corporation is making the kari, like it's a Japanese snack as well. Even like it's launching in India as well. But this is a very famous snack company in Japan, but CEO and chairman is Indian person. This is very great. So because maybe they are understanding like what's the Indians, strong points, what's the Japanese, strong points is there. They understand how we can make a supplemental, like the relationship closely together. So,
Right. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think India is going through this like massive phase of 0 to 1,
yes.
where Japan has that expertise in 10 to 100.
Yes.
So it's a very natural partnership.
Yeah, true. Even like Japan is very strongly requesting the 0 to 1 now because like their industries are already matured. So therefore, Japan government is very amazingly pushing the startup 0 to 1. Startup is various startup, of course, like a 0 to 1 like you, like completely, genuinely, like they're starting from the zero. But another startup is entrepreneur startup, like the Japanese enterprise company, Kirin, Toyota, and then like the, Dentsu wearables. Like they are trying to make a 0 to 1 inside a, enterprise company. This is also called their, of course, startup as well. Both, they need a new industry. New industries always come from the startup, right? Yeah. So therefore, we need such a great person. Even we need a person like who can navigate to the global. You are definitely a global person because your team member is German and then like they're like Singapore. From the day one, it's a global, right? Though in Japan, like they're still island company that people cannot speak English well. So people because still in terms of market size, not much small.
Isolated within Japan.
Exactly. Like suppose Korea. Korea's population is, 1 second, right? Like 50 million or something.
Yeah.
Japan, like 120 million. Decent number. Even if they capture, like earning, like income is also, higher than like average, right? In this case, maybe you can make like a 20 million or 30 million business in Japan, even like only domestic. Therefore, there's no incentive to go to global. Even like they need to understand the cultures and the language and everything's, like they're, maybe like they're, like thinking it's not reasonable. Now population is dramatically goes down. Like the higher, average labor age is 50 now. In India, 29, 50, right? So everybody can understand Japan population is significantly goes down. In this case, we cannot rely on the domestic market. From the day one, we should make a strong team with Indian people as well, because Indian people is everywhere. Africa, European, Americas, in Brazil, wherever everybody is Indian people is there, right? So we should ask the Indian people to navigate from the Japan to the, like the global. So therefore, like Japan should more more seriously and strategically should involve in the Indian peoples. Yeah.
Thinking about what we were just discussing off camera just before starting, you were describing how there are like different levels of one. You start exploring the culture, you explore anime, Japanese food, stuff like that, and then it kind of goes up and up in levels. So can you explain that a little bit? Maybe you can explain that again for the audience. That how does that whole work?
Oh yeah, totally. So what we are feeling is we feel there, like a strong request and requirement and expectation from the another industry people, not only the anime, from the food industry, beverage industry, and education industry, language learning industry, and then the job opportunities like recruiting industry. So many people is requesting us to have a booth or something. So it's a quite simple because uh, always starting point is starting point to consume the Japanese content is anime and manga for sure. So therefore, this is the behavior. Starting point in there is some building. Suppose this is a metaphor building, and the first floor is anime and manga. And then once they enjoy the manga and anime, and the next step is they second floor is food, because they can feel a lot of food inside the anime. Oh, what's this mochi and what's this ramen? I willing to taste it. Therefore, second floor is food, and after that, third floor is some more language, because subtitle is not much good, to be honest. People want to enjoy their Japanese manga contents like the actually in the original one. Therefore, they start learning the Japanese language as well in order to enjoy the contents as well. In case the language is happen, like what's going to be happening, the fourth floor is a job market is there. As you know, like the Japan itself is a huge shortage of the laborers and like working peoples. Like therefore, we need a person. We need to ask there some Japanese language. Well, we need a person if we can feel the high motivation to work in Japan, to work with a Japanese company in there. So therefore, fourth layer is work Japan. And then before work Japan, maybe like might be a fifth layer or something, traveling. Trip to the Japan is also very, very focusing area from Japan government now. Inbound tourism industry is a significantly increasing now because of course, currency exchange rate, JPY is bigger than another country. Therefore, all over the world, the people thinking, oh, super cheap ramen is there. Only 200 rupee? Yeah. Because the Indians, if you consume the ramen in India, like 600 rupee, 700 rupee, like if you go to Japan, you can enjoy 300 rupee. Well, it's an authentic, like a very tasty ramen, right? Therefore, travel is also very important because, anime is a feature, a lot of, pilgrimage spot in Japan. So therefore, you can go to their demon spheres, like a pilgrimage spot in Tokyo. You can go to their like a Kimi no Nawa, like the Shinkai's Makoto's, directors, like a pilgrimage spot in Japan. So in this way, like you can enjoy anime plus travel. So therefore, like these are the structure. Therefore, we are feeling like surrounding industries people is also expecting us to make some sustainable ecosystem, so that any emerging, any new company who is interested in the Indian market can come to our festival, because this is our like trial, sort of trial marketing platform as well. Sort of, they are recognizing. Therefore, luckily, there's a very famous beverage company which is called the Itoen. Itoen is a super famous matcha brand company. They are, they make some pet bottle manufacturers. Yeah, so they are seeking for the opportunity to, like the launch in India, but they have decided to launch their product, first time at our festival. So therefore, yeah, their expectation is the same, very simple. They want to see and observe how it works among the young audience, because in case you want to push the Japan brand, targeting to the anime fan is very reasonable. Yeah,
That's a good strategy.
yeah.
I noticed you guys made a lot of noise on Instagram for that Maid cafe. So can you describe like what is a Maid cafe? Like how does the experience work?
Very question. Very great question. I don't want to disclose much about it. Yeah, but okay. Maid Cafe is one of the representative of the Japanese pop cultures. And a Maid Cafe is a concept cafe. And then like there's a maid, and then there's a guest, and then like you are king kind of things. And then like once you come enters, and then we will, showing. And have you ever heard about omotenashi? Omotenashi is in English, hospitality. Japan is a hospitality country. In case you go to Japan, even if you go to the papa mama shop or small shop, people is making a bowl. Oh, irashaimase, how can I help you? Have you ever seen such a situation in another country? No. So this means like Japan is a very strong for the omotenashi and hospitality culture. And then like in order to show this hospitality, Maid Cafe is one of their like the representative things. Once you comes in, like the people is Maid Cafe staff is saying, "Okaeri nasai." Okaeri nasai means like welcome back home. So they are trying to make a third place kind of things. So people can, like relieving their, like daily frustration or something. And then like there's a dancing as well. We, Maid Cafe and Cutie, like Maid is dancing and then like in front of the stage or something. Not only that, so they will giving some powers and energy into the food or drink items. Like I suppose there's omurice. Omurice is some sort of the ketchup rice and put that wrapped by the eggs, yeah, or something. And then on their omurice, they do you understand ketchup, right? So so not only just putting the ketchup, like I'm a maid and you are a guest, and like I'm serving their like this omurice in front of you, and then like I'm trying to put there like a ketchup, like a heart shape, moe with some magical word, moe moe kyo. Then so they are giving the some love, and then like there's some emotion, like a warmful, heartful emotion to their like their omurice, and then like serving to you, so people can feel, oh, so I'm so relaxed, and then like I could feel they could feel that some healing or something. So we are providing some like such a like their emotional experience to their audience throughout Maid Cafe. Therefore, we invited one Maid person from Japan, and then she used to work at a Maid Cafe in Akihabara in Tokyo. So
Apart from that, I'm also curious about like what other activities would be there at the event.
rest of the activity. One of the activities, one important thing is Naruto's official singers, and this is the first ever, like live shows in India. So Naruto is like a very famous anime. However, so far until now, like there is no like the singer official singers who did a live show in India. But we convinced somehow to the singer, and then they agree with us our passion. And then she will come to the Bangalore January 10th, and then to do the live show for the first time, like the official singers live shows. And apart from that, like we have a workshop, as I mentioned. Workshop is very interesting. Like we invited One Piece Zoro's voice artist from Mumbai, and he's a very famous Sanket Matori-san is a very famous voice artist. And then like he will come and he will do the workshop how to make a sound from the bottom of your stomach kind of things, because making the voice is not even like these kind of podcasts as well, like always for everybody else is important. For a student interview, for a recruiting purpose, for a daily life is daily conversation with a family, always voice is expressing your emotions, right? So in this way he will explain, once you make a voice, how your emotions are associated with kind of things. Entirely, he will do this kind of a voice workshop. Even like we invited their very professional manga editors. He is from the Shogakukan. Shogakukan is a manga publisher of the Doraemon. Maybe you heard about the Doraemon. Yeah. So this company is a very famous company, and he's a chief vice editor of the Shogakukan. So we invited him. He will come to our festival, and he will do the manga workshop. So you can learn how to write a manga. You can learn how to make some narrative and then story of their manga. How to make a character. Character is very important. So this kind of thing is, in India, there is a manga writer, but very, very less manga editor. Why One Piece is booming? Why Dragon Ball Z is booming? Of course, creator is important, Toriyama-san, and then Oda Sensei is very important. But one more most important existence is a manga editor. Because they're, like they keep having a conversation. Manga editor is one of the representative of the manga readers and manga consumers. Instead of the manga, a lot of immense number of the manga consumers. So this manga editor is giving the feedback, hey, So maybe, like in case you're drawing this, like a dialogue, maybe people cannot understand. You should, do the display. You should change their, like the shape of their, like their, what is called, you need to, change the some of their, effect or something. So this kind of a critical feedback is given by the manga editors before the public, before public, before publishing. So therefore, like here to give their like such a critical, important like essence and tips to their existing manga writers or like a general people who is interested in writing manga or some kids who interested in writing manga. Yeah, so those kind of a workshop is also very very fascinating factor, I believe. Yeah.
Look, thanks so much for doing this. It was great chatting with you, and I'm really looking forward to the event.
Yeah.
Maybe for the audience, you want to share about like when is the event, what is the time, where can you go to book it?
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. First of all, thank you so much for listening to this show. And then like the event is Ota Tokyo and happening in the 10th of the January and then Paris. And then like you can book two-way and then book my show or our official application. Or official application, you can get a little cheaper price. Prices like a weekly including the don't miss it like a free grab that we get like a light away. Thank you so much.